This is the story of a trophy for the world, a journey, a dream.
So this Qatar 2022 World Cup is beginning to look like a World Cup full of surprises. Nobody expected what we witnessed this afternoon, but like they say, such is life and such is football. Well, welcome you to today's edition of our coverage of the Qatar 2022 World Cup. With me in the studio is Salifu Usman right here. Salifu, welcome to today's edition of the program.
Yeah, thank you, Alpha. Just like you said, the matches have begun to fall.
Yeah. Right. In the course of the program, our colleague Wale Ayeni will also be joining us all the way from the UK. Once he's with us, we will introduce him properly. But, like I said in my opening, nobody saw what was coming today when World Cup, one of the favorites of this World Cup, in fact, going through an online poll today of who is going to likely win the World Cup, it was between Brazil and Argentina. But incidentally, while 48,000 of respondents said they believe Argentina will win it, about 38,000 respondents said it was going to be Brazil. But playing this first game, I don't know if some people will begin to change their minds for Saudi Arabia to end a 36-game unbeaten run in the World Cup. I mean, this is one of the great upsets of the World Cup. When I was following that match, initially Argentina took the lead 1-0, and of course it was expected Argentina would lead. All of a sudden, there was an equalizer. And I felt, okay, yeah, football is like that. Sometimes equalize. Maybe with this equalizer, the Argentines will, take the game a step further, make it more intense. But lo and behold, before you knew it, Saudi Arabia went a goal up again. And just when you think Argentina might come back and eventually win the game, Saudi Arabia ensured that they locked. Everywhere was completely packed. Everywhere was locked. And Argentina had no chance. And at the end of the day, it was Saudi Arabia 2, Argentina 1.
Yeah, Alpha, thank you. Just like say, that's a beautiful beauty of World Cup. And that's what we make football, the game of to answer.
Yeah.
And everybody who have analyzed this match before, now who have predicted this match this morning, always give the game to Argentina. And a whole lot of bookmakers, a whole lot of those who went to betting to attend this match, a whole lot of people have lost, lost money today, in particular this one, because nobody saw it. Nobody saw it coming.
Yeah.
I can confidently say, I may be wrong, but I can confidently say that nobody would have predicted that Saudi Arabia is going to beat Argentina. Some would have even predicted that Argentina is going to whitewash.
Definitely, because look,
Saudi Arabia.
Judging from what we saw from England against Iran, you think, okay,
England, Iran. So
exactly.
somebody would have expected a repeat of that score line.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Saudi Arabia proved to be a different team in this World Cup and created the major offset in the game of football.
Yeah.
It's just like what happened in 1990 when Cameroon beat Italy.
Exactly.
And at the same time, what happened in Korea 2002 when France beat world champion, defending champion,
exactly.
France. So, no, but even if you look at that, to some extent, you still will say that this one is a major offset compared to 1990 Cameroon defeat of Italy, because Cameroon literally beat them, and then even for Senegal also beating France. It's got nobody. All you know about Saudi is that just they are not a religious Islamic country. They don't know anything about football. But surprisingly, this is their first major victory in the
World Cup.
And to me, they have achieved a greater result. And if you look at this group now, this has altered the whole permutation.
Completely.
But I still strong. I can still see, just like you said, that you say people who were on the pool all give it to Argentina.
Yeah,
it will be wrong. I think to write Argentina off.
No, completely. I agree.
It do happen. If you recall, in 2010, Spain came to South Africa, lost their opening match to Switzerland 1-0.
No,
Spain
if
still went ahead and
yeah,
won the World Cup. So it doesn't
even in Italia 90, where they lost their first game to Cameroon, Argentina still went on to win the World Cup. This time around in this group, my fear is their next game is up against Mexico. Mexico has always been a very difficult to play, whichever way you look at it. I mean, like we said when we were doing our preview of this tournament, we had said any team who is coming up against Mexico, whether you are Brazil, whether who you are, always know that you're going to have a big match on your hands. Mexico has never been an easy side to play. Argentina will be coming up against Mexico in their next game, and it should be a must win for Argentina, because anything short of a win in that, it's a pity. We might just be seeing Argentina out of the competition.
and it will be very
Exactly.
big
Yes.
disappointment
Hugely.
not just for the Argentines or not just even to just even for the sponsors,
Of course.
even for the FIFA
Yeah.
and the rest.
Mm.
Because sometimes when you have a major title favorite getting out at the early stage of the
Exactly.
competition, it will affect the status
Very
of the
well.
competition. So nobody, the organizer will not always want to see the top team exit the competition at the early stage.
Exactly.
And we hope that will not be fell on Argentina, just like has happened to other top one before, other top team before. But just like say, Argentina has to do something different than the way they play today. If they're going to gain the next match on Saturday against the Mexican side, who have never been an average team, and just like nobody, no matter whoever you are, whoever they have started or whoever you are in the game of football, if you are coming against Argentina, against Mexico, you always have that they are going to have a very tough.
Exactly.
So generally, between now, Argentina has they have almost 4 days to prepare for the next match against Mexico, and they have to wait till the 12 to look at themselves in eye to eye, ball to ball, and ask themselves a very serious question: what happened? And try to find solution what will happen. Because if they go the way they win against Saudi Arabia, I'm sorry for them. Something terrible may happen to them against Mexico, but I still believe that they could and to review and do that in the end. I don't see Argentina going out at this any stage, but it's possible. But it can happen, but it will be pretty difficult to see. And they don't see Lionel Messi will allow that to happen. This is last World Cup.
Very well.
This is last World Cup, and if it happened and Messi will exit World Cup at the group stage, everything has done in football, he will not be happy to eat
at all. Well, a quick recap of some yesterday's result. We saw our own African champions fall down 2-0 to the Dutch side. I mean, for me, a surprising result. Not that Poland is not a tough team to play, but I didn't expect that result to go that way for Senegal. But it was 2-0 in favor of Poland.
Yeah, very disappointing. I was so very disappointed yesterday. Particularly that Senegal were able to hold the whole for almost the whole 90 minutes of the game. For 84 minutes, the goal was, and we come to a time that we begin to even feel that if Senegal play the way and hold this game, they have a chance to win this match, because they come to begin to press. But unfortunately, that terrible error from Mendy, I was quite disappointed. He made it be a top goalkeeper of his class to make sure he make his short mistake yesterday, and that caused them that defeat. The second goal was one we are seeing there, but the second goal is not his fault, but something leads to something. If that first goal have scored, the second one may not have performed. But Senegal, it is a big disappointing result for them yesterday, because they have that match they have that game in their hand to win the match, but unfortunately they let it slip off their fingers.
Yeah, I mean, very disappointing one indeed. In the other game, also, USA, when it seemed like they had, won that one, somehow it was not to be, as Wales, through a penalty, came back in that game, and it ended 1-1.
And that was the same class of performance I expected of Lionel Messi to have to talk against South Africa. Because when it matters, the big guys in the team always stand up for the team. And Gary Bale did the same thing yesterday for Wales. He stood up for the team and get the result. So Messi ought to have stood up for Argentina today, but unfortunately he failed to click.
But like you say in football, a tree.
And if you record the US goal, was called by an African player.
Yeah, the son of
Not just an African player.
Yeah.
He's son of a sitting president.
The son of a sitting president,
But
and the son of a former Ballon d'Or winner.
Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah.
And this sometimes are some of the things I don't understand about Africa. How can your father as a sitting president and you are playing for another nation?
No, but technically he's actually an American citizen, born and raised
Born in America,
in
but,
Brooklyn, New York.
but the fact that is but let me ask you this. But the fact that your father is a sitting president of that country, will you think that?
No. I mean, like the other time we had discussed this with some other colleague in the newsroom, and I said, I'm sure it is something that his father must have discussed with him. But like his father once said, he said, look, this boy is an adult, so he can take decisions all by himself. So I'm sure it's something that the man must have discussed with him. And he felt, look, I think playing for America, I might have more opportunity. Because when you ask yourself, a Liberian team, you don't, maybe he doesn't see any for him. When did last day even a Liberian team featured in the Nations Cup, talk less of the World Cup? So maybe some of these things were part of his consideration. So when I look at this, it's like someone said, if the father was a Nigerian team, for instance, it would have been an easy choice for him because knowing the pedigree. Same in the case of Alex Iwobi too. He said he was almost playing for England until his uncle JJ talked to him and his father. But looking at the pedigree of Nigeria in the time past, it was an easy decision for him to make. So for him, he might look at, okay, when it comes to football, where is Liberia in the scheme of things? So maybe this could be some reasons why he had to make that decision.
But looking at you, Edward, in as much as George Weah never played the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, but the fact that he never played work, he played for Liberia, and still you can't write football. You can't say anything about football to that mention.
Absolutely.
So, well, that is the topic for another day. We are just saying discuss about the nationality of the player. So,
exactly. Well, Wale has joined us, but Wale will get in touch with you when we come back from this break. Don't go nowhere.
This is the story of a trophy for the world. A journey. A dream.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
All right, welcome back from that break. In the other game which we were monitoring, that was Denmark versus the other Africa representative, Tunisia. That just ended, and it ended 0-0. Well, good result, you might say, coming from Tunisia against a side like Denmark. Quickly, Wale, your analysis of this match, seeing the disappointment Africa got from Senegal yesterday, but looks like Tunisia have been able to hold the Danes in that one, sharing each point apiece.
The World Cup, beautiful football will actually give you 3 points. Goals will surely give you 3 points. This is the World Cup. You just have to take all your chances. You just have to score goals. If you don't score goals, there's no way you can win matches. And when you don't win matches, you don't get the point. We actually saw that performance from Saudi Arabia in the earlier hours of today, where they actually defeated the Argentina team. They actually ended 36 game of unbeaten run of Messi-led Argentina ever since the semi-final against Brazil in the Copa America. That was in 2019. That was the last time Argentina lost the game, and see them, losing this particular game in the World Cup, in the most biggest, tournament in the world. It shows that they are, for me, they are not ready. Looking at the performance today, but I feel maybe Argentina, maybe they just underrated the Saudi Arabians. But you could see that Saudi Arabia played a good football. It was a tiki taka. It was, if I was watching Real Madrid versus, maybe Real Madrid versus a certain Barcelona play. We didn't actually expect, Saudi Arabia to actually put up this impressive performance, but it's World Cup for you. Anything can happen. You just have to take all your chances. And funny enough, just two scoring opportunity that they had, they actually converted it. We saw Argentina; they had about six scoring chances, but they couldn't convert. It was just from the spot kick that Messi had to score that goal. Now, big question: who is the greatest? People are saying it's not Messi, it's Ronaldo at this point in time. But let's just leave this. Let's just leave that topic for another day. But looking at the performance of Tunisia today, I would say it's a very, very impressive performance, no doubt about it. They had their game plan. They stood in the game from the beginning to the end of the game. They didn't actually lose their concentration. We saw, Senegal yesterday. They actually started very, very well. For me, they should have actually won that game against the Netherlands. But towards the end of the game, they actually lost, concentration. That actually made them to concede that two goal. For me, Mendy performed poorly in that particular match. I feel Mendy should have actually done better, but it's a game of football for you. Any little mistake might actually cost you. It has actually cost Senegal at this point in time. But talking about Tunisia, it was an impressive performance. I didn't actually expect them to actually put this kind of performance against side of Eriksen, Michael on pole. I mean, on the goal post, it was very, very impressive for Denmark today. I feel with this kind of performance, they can actually progress to the next stage if they can keep these performance, get to improve on it. The wings also, they must need to improve on their wings. Their midfield were actually solid, and they should also improve on their wings and also improve on the attacking side, Alpha.
Two more other games will be played later on today, 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. First off, of course, it's going to be Mexico against Poland. Incidentally, that's the same group in which Argentina and Saudi Arabia falls in. And for Mexico, they are heading into their 8th consecutive World Cup. And interesting thing, like we said about Mexico, is in the last 8 years since they've been in the World Cup, Mexico have always made it to the last 16. And tonight they'll be up against Poland. And Poland, well, in as much as some people might want to see Poland, when you think of Poland, you think of Lewandowski. But Poland is not only about Lewandowski. If you think you can just cage Lewandowski Poland is a very, very dangerous side because even from their qualifiers, they qualify from a very difficult group. So that shows you the test of character and the pedigree that the side has.
Yeah, you are very correct. Poland is one of the very dangerous sides. If you underrate them, you do so at your own peril. And just like if you see Poland as just all about Lewandowski and all I need to do, let us just catch Lewandowski. I want to catch Lewandowski, we get the Poland on our copy. No. If you do so that you see other young players who are within spring surprise and do. But what it just like say, Mexican is a very strong side.
Very strong side. Yeah.
I see two sides who are equally matched by the match to beat us. But one thing that they have about this game that make this game very more interesting is the surprise victory of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Because that has altered the competition.
Completely.
That's altered the competition within the game. Everybody believed that Saudi Arabia was the king.
They were going to be the whipping boys.
The weaking side, and everybody will come together. Now Saudi Arabia have getting 3 points off
exactly
from the leader of the group.
Yeah.
And the team that everybody saw as a favorite to win that group, Saudi Arabia have beat them. That has kept everybody on their feet.
Well.
This match, these two sides definitely need this 3 points.
Yeah.
But a draw will settle better, and a draw also favor Argentina. But let's see how it's going to play out. But it's going to be a better game.
Well, looking at this upcoming game, like I said, Mexico, constant. 8 consecutive World Cup. That is no small achievement. Somehow they always find a way of making it to the World Cup. And out of their 8 appearances, 7 times they've made it to the last 16 of tournament. So that gives you an idea that this is not a side to write off. It's not a pushover at all. And having Argentina in this group, don't forget that Argentina's next game is up against Mexico, and this is a side that can also cause problems for Argentina.
Of course, no doubt about it. Mexico, we know they are still winners when it comes to the North American, continent when it comes to football because it's just Mexico, Canada, and United States of America. Those are and Costa Rica. Those are the three powerhouses in that particular region. They'll be facing a certain Lewandowski-led Poland team. I feel it's going to be, a cracker in that particular game. We should not actually not write that game off. We know the pedigree of Poland, how certain Lewandowski get to lead the attack. We know is for me is one of the world deadliest attacker at this point in time. So every attention will be shifted to his side. But Mexico also we thought is certain Hernandez will play, but I'm not really sure he actually will make up that particular World Cup squad. But I feel it's going to be a cracker. Don't forget, Mexico has one of the best keeper that will actually be playing in the World Cup. We saw his exploit during the last World Cup, how he made a good save against Argentina, against countries who you will not believe that he will actually make good saves from. But I feel one thing that is actually working for them is how they can really play as a team. I know every attention everybody will put on Lewandowski. We actually saw that how everybody was actually put on Messi that didn't actually work for Argentina. So I feel they should actually play free flow football that has fluid. They should actually play as a team. They should not rely so much on Lewandowski to deliver the goals. Other players can also come to the party and get the goals. It's the World Cup. You are playing as a team, so it does not matter that Robert Lewandowski will score the goals. He can actually get to give passes to his teammate, and for them they should score. But they should not rule out the fact that this game is going to be a difficult one because any team that gets to win this particular game, it will give them confidence, going to their second match in that particular group. Argentina has lost, so they want to actually play one team who want to actually get to win this particular game because it will actually put them on the comfortable stage, going to the second rounds of the game. Alpha.
Mm. All right. So our next game in Group D will be France against Australia. Remember that the first Group D game between Denmark Tunisia ended 0-0, and Tunisia in the same group with their former colonialist France. And going into this game, France, world champions, defending champions, will be up against the Socceroos of Australia. Recall that Australia somehow have always found a way of qualifying for the World Cup. In fact, Australia were so strong in the Oceania group that they had to be applied to. So now they actually play from the Asia region, and even at that, Australia is still a top team to reckon with when it comes to World Cup. Looking at this match, France, Australia, France are going into this game, into this competition, basically not like the way they would have wanted because so many injuries to star players. First, it was Pogba at the point, Kante. Just when you thought that was just a few days before they even kicked any ball, a star man, Ballon d'Or winner, Karim Benzema, also ruled out of the World Cup. So France will be going into this competition still a strong side, but the core of that midfield that led them to glory 4 years ago, talking about Kante and Pogba, will not be there. But there are some other players who can be called on to actually do a decent job in the middle of the park.
Yeah, defending champions. And remember, there's a story that was stood against it. Like standing before the France, if you remember, the world champion, defending champions are always exiting the competition in the first round. And we hope that either the France will be able to break that jinx.
And this trend actually started with them.
Started with them, and so we hope that they will be able to end that strength again and not exit the World Cup in the first round like they did in the Japan 20 years ago. But if you just like you say, this is not the best World Cup for France. This is not the way they want to approach this World Cup. They are going to the World Cup with a whole lot of things. First, the injury list on their side is nothing to write home about. It's nothing to do that. And at this, apart from the injury list, there are issues of a lot of crisis within the team. There's this total disharmony within the team, within the person of the player. So, but how the coach will be able to manage the whole this thing is a different ballgame entirely. Yesterday, the former Uruguay legend Lunago was alleging that some of the France players were able happy that Karim Benzema pick injury and is going out of the team.
Mhm.
But what the world champion is always a world champion. France and the Australians are not strange to each other. They met 4 years ago, but France was able to win that match.
2-1 it was.
Of,
Usman penalty.
And the own goal from the own goal by the Australian player.
Yeah.
So, but if you are still asking the bookmaker the better player, you're asking me to put my name, everybody would definitely still want to stand with France to win this match. But it's not going to be a very easy one. But France, France must progress and give good. But at the same time, sometimes we see a team. We should see France as just all about Cuba, as all about Kante, and as all about Karim Benzema. Karim Benzema was not part of the team that won the World Cup 4 years ago. But Kante and in as well as Kante and Pogba was the aging room of that team. There's definitely it's an opportunity for all other players also to also show, to come to the party and show, as Wale always said, to come to the party. So definitely we'll be likely going to see all that form of player who may even think that, well, they were even better than Kante or Pogba. But I see France, I will definitely give this match to France, but it's not going to be an easy one.
So quickly, Wale, your analysis of France, Australia, what do you expect from this game?
For me, Australia will definitely not see a fear factor in France team at this point in time. Looking at how dilapidated the team is for now, because the key players are not there. N'Golo Kante, Pogba, as you guys have said now, Karim Benzema is the latest, casualty that have actually, they have actually had at this point in time. So I feel it's going to be a cracker. Australia will definitely not give them that respect. They want to actually, go all the way to actually prove a point and make a statement in that particular match. We saw how Saudi Arabia actually, stunned Argentina. There might just be the team that will actually get to stun the world champions in the first game. So I feel Australia too is a very, very young side, and don't be shocked when you get to see surprises from this Australian side. I still feel they still have a point to prove, but no doubt about it. The likes of Mbappe is still there for France. Anthony Griezmann also is still there, doing magic in the front line. So I feel France still has players who can actually, execute that particular match. Don't forget about, Saliba that plays for Arsenal. He's one of the best defender in the world at this point in time, and they have a good keeper, Igor. So I feel they still stand a chance, to prove what the stuff they have made up and to, show the world why they are world champions. And let's see if they can be able to defend their title with this particular match against the Australians.
So quickly, let me put you on the spot like I usually do. Mexico, Poland, France, Australia, your prediction?
Oh, of course, it's a dicey game, but let me go for Mexico in this particular one. They might just get to win maybe 2-1. Then France, Australia. France should show that they are the world champions. So I go with France for 2-0.
Salihu.
Yeah, I've said that I would definitely stand with France to win this match. And the side of the Mexico, Poland, it's going to be a very tough one and very tough to anybody to predict. More especially that, just like you say, Mexico have their next match against Argentina. Yeah. So definitely they will want to win this match. Yeah. Because if anything sort of victory, the next match against Argentina is just going to come out smoking against them. And at the same time, Poland have their next match, have Saudi Arabia to contest with the fear that Saudi Arabia just beat Poland, just beat Argentina. They also want to win this match so that to go into the game against Saudi Arabia will be easy. So it will be very too close to us, and I don't really know where to stand.
All right, we'll keep an eye on all of these matches. They come up 5 p.m. and Nigerian time and 7 p.m. the second match. Well, that's what we can give you on today's edition of our coverage of the World Cup. Wale, thank you for joining us today on the program. We'll come back and give you reviews and previews of the games as they come by. My name is Afa Cho. Stay safe out there, and it's bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.